Alright guys, what's up? It's been a hot minute and as you can see, I have a B shirt on. You're probably like, what is going on? You know, what happened? And just a lot of things happened. Trying to just take a lot of stuff one step at a time, and YouTube is gonna have to be one of those things. I made a mistake of just trying to do everything all at once, and it really didn't work out because then, instead of progressively working yourself up to something, I threw myself in all this stuff, wasn't able to take it one at a time, and I'm slowly getting to the point where I can start adding more things onto my, I guess, like, list of things to do, and that I want to do and stuff like that. But the biggest thing was just like being able to manage it all. Manage it all. I had to manage the things that I was taking care of first, uh, which obviously hold higher priority, and then all the other side things that I want to do. But to get this started, guys, yes, I did just run a trifecta, and you're probably like, where in the hell are you at? Okay, so I'm currently in West Virginia. I'm just did the trifecta weekend. I did the beast, super, and the sprint. Was disappointed that there wasn't an age group sprint. I didn't realize that until I was told. They said, "Oh yeah, there's gonna be no more age group sprint for trifecta weekend," which is kind of a bummer because that's the one thing I always look forward to was after, you get beat down by the beast, you have the super the next day, so your legs are kind of sore. Then after you get done with the super, your legs are just like on fire, they're dying, and then you have one more race to do, and it's like just pushing yourself beyond limits. And that's what I felt like the sprint age group did for me, was like, this is like the final race, let's push through it. I know I'm in like a lot of pain. I know that, um, physically this is gonna suck, but it was like that mental test, the mental test. Like, not the beast, not the super, it was the sprint. It was the sprint that was a mental test, because after enduring those two races, can you finish, or can you, like, go as hard as you physically can on this last one, without giving up, or slowing down because it hurts or something like that. But so yeah, it was a very good weekend. I loved the races. The race was tough. It was extremely tough. The elevation let me start off with the beast. I'm gonna kind of break each of them down. Obstacles I've missed, how I placed, and all that stuff. But let's start off with just the race itself. So obviously I've never done a mountain race. I've done pretty much all Florida races, so it's a flat course. Uh, However, in West Virginia, it's different. They have mountains here, and it added a whole new element to just the whole course itself. So I was not prepared for that, and that's one thing I came in, in my head. I was like, I'm just gonna stick to my plan. Whatever happens, happens, and let's just see where this goes. So, first thing I want to mention is I was not expecting to swim. I did not realize that they had a swimming thing here in West Virginia. That threw me off. They said something like, "Oh yeah, you can be swimming around this mile. Make sure you zip up your life jacket." I'm just like, swimming? Nah, that ain't it for me. I'm not really a great swimmer either, so that ate up a lot of time. Like, a lot of people started passing me uh, during the whole swim portion of it, just because, like I said, I'm not really that much of a great swimmer. These other guys obviously looked like they had experience, or at least was better than I was, or yeah, was better than I was at swimming for sure. But yeah, it was interesting element, because after you get out of the water, your legs are just kind of, they feel a little bit like jello, and you have to kind of like warm them up again, just you know as you run and stuff like that. Like, I had to start off slow, kind of warm them up again, and then as the course went on, they started to feel a little bit better and a lot less like jello. So that was an interesting factor. The incline itself was crazy. I have never like dealt with any mountains like that before, and it was just tough. And it was like three massive inclines. And what I told myself for the beast, my game plan is whenever I can conserve energy, but while still moving. Now, I will admit, there's like a couple times where I had to stop because it's like my legs like just physically couldn't move up the mountain because of how steep it was, and I didn't want to get a cramp either. And there's a couple times where I felt cramps coming. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stop, take a quick breather, and I'm gonna let my my legs relax. just for a second. So I'd sit there for like maybe like 10, 20, sometimes even 30 seconds, let my legs kind of catch the breath sort of, and then I went back to it, and I think that was kind of my mistake on the beast. Is, there were some portions I could have probably jogged up it, jogged up the incline, but I was still under that mindset, like, preserving energy when I can. I knew that was gonna be my weakness going into the race, so I was like, just power hike it, use that to conserve energy, and then whenever I go into a flat, like anything that was just flat, or if I went down, I mean, just book it. And that's what I did, and it actually worked out. I was able to, my heart rate was only 165 throughout the whole, average for the whole beast, so pretty good heart rate. And I know that, in some instances it doesn't mean nothing, but for the beast, it was something like really important to me, because that was something that I wanted to keep track of, because I have a tendency to push myself too hard at the beginning and, waste all my energy. So keeping track of my heart rate just to make sure that I'm not over pushing myself was super important to me. So the incline was tough, the decline was nice, and after all that, that plan, it worked out pretty well. I missed the Olympus, I missed the spear throw. Those are the two usual ones I always miss, and I need to master them before Central Florida, because, there's another race that I'm going to talk about at the end of this video that I'm going to be doing, but, or I'm going to try to do. Hopefully I can do it. It just depends if everything comes together the way that it should, hopefully, because it would be amazing. But anyways, I placed 8th out of like 22, was it 23 in my age group? Obviously I had no expectation of hitting podium on any of these races, except for maybe the super. But we'll get to that in just a second. I was not having any expectation to hit podium on the beast. It was just like me versus myself. How well can I do on a course that I have like never done before, especially with an element like the mountains? Big difference. So the beast turned out pretty good. I finished like 3 hours, and it was like 15 minutes, a number that I want to get down hopefully next year if I am able to come back to this venue. So the beast went good, felt really good. I'm pretty happy the way that I preserved my energy going up those inclines, and then just taking off whenever I had the opportunity to. The other obstacles felt pretty good, except for obviously the two that I messed up. So now I will say one thing: the nets were awfully loose on the cargo, and then there's this netted wall. I don't remember what the name of it was, but the net was so loose. And I usually never like complain about something like that, but it was like dangerously loose. Like, you would sit there, and when you would start climbing, if you had someone behind you, like, it was so loose it would pull the whole thing down. So you could be taking that step, and then the guy would step on the on the net, and it would just pull the whole thing down, and it would take you with. So it was like, it felt like pretty unsafe. So I kind of slowed down on that one, because I didn't want to sit there and get my balls caught up in between the nets, trying to climb it up, because all the other races I've done, it was pretty tight. You can sit there, climb it up fast. This one, I mean, it was loose, stupid loose. So that's how the beast went. The super, this one, I told myself I was going to push myself a lot harder. Instead of just power hiking some of the mountains, or some of the incline, I was going to run it. And that's exactly what I did, except for one, which was a good idea, because this incline was like, it was inclined like crazy. Like, it was something that I wasn't gonna be able to run up the whole way. And if I'm not gonna be able to run up the whole way, that means I'm gonna be exerting way too much energy to get to the top. So I power hiked it the best I could. Not, it was tough. It was tough. There was like no preserving any energy going up that. So imagine running it. I would have drained myself for the last mile that I still had left to go. But that wasn't as bad as the beast. It was only one mountain. I did pretty good, missed the same two obstacles. However, with the Olympus, I just decided to, I was like, on the third hole, I was trying something new, didn't work. I was like, you know what, just take my pedal to the lap and go. That's one thing I've learned, is just, if I can't do it, just go. just do whatever you need to do. I'm glad it wasn't burpees. If it was burpees, it would have been a different story. I probably would have tried a lot harder not to mess up the obstacle, but you just waste so much energy on the Olympus if you don't get it the first time. Or if like you're 3/4 of the way there and you fail it, the amount of energy you use just to fail an obstacle is not worth it, especially for a penalty loop. So yeah, no, it was the super was a lot better. I was able to run at most of the incline stuff like that. You know, obviously familiar with how the course was formatted, so was able to mentally prepare myself better. I ran a lot faster too. I mean, obviously since it's a shorter distance, but I felt really good on it, really good, and I came short of third place. I came fourth out of 27, I think it was, and that was mainly because of the obstacles I missed. So I need to, and that's the second time I have missed podium because of that. The second time. And if I can just nail these obstacles, I can start hitting podium almost every single race that I do. You know, obviously depending on the race and you know, if it fits into my strengths, my weaknesses, and even for the mountains, you know, I guess be my weakness because I never really work on mountains because I live in Florida and they really don't have mountains there. You can do incline treadmill and stuff like that, but I'm not a big fan of treadmill because it just feels very artificial going up it. But that might be something that I have to force myself to do in order to train for some of these other bigger races that I want to do. So yeah, that went pretty good. The sprint, just having fun, you know, nothing too serious since they don't have anything really serious available. So with all that being said, I would say this is the hardest venue I've done by far. That could change. It could just be like a recency bias, recency bias thing where, oh, I just did it, this was super tough. The beast in Florida might be worse. I'm not sure yet. Give me like a couple days, maybe a couple weeks to really iron it out and see how bad it truly was, or you know, when comparing the two. So with this being said, where am I headed to next? Obviously, I'm doing Central Florida, and that's one that I gotta, you know, fix that Olympus and Spear Throw for. But I want to fit in an ultra, and I was gonna do the North Carolina one. However, just everything just is not going to be able to fall into place, unfortunately. So I'm going to try to do the Texas one. I heard it's a nice flat course that's going to fit more into my specialty. I just got to train for like being able to run 31 miles because that's a lot of mileage to run in one go. So that's my goal, is to run that and then hopefully run the sprint the next day and call that a weekend. I would get my third trifecta, get my fourth in December. And so that is my plan. That is how the West Virginia venue went, or the race went. It went good. I love that the venue was really nice, beautiful scenery. Once you got to the top of it, very nice, and one that I definitely want to come back to next year. So if you're gonna be there, definitely let me know in the comments section below. And other than that, there's not really much else to say. I'm just looking forward to hopefully being able to find a good schedule for YouTube again, or you know, find one to begin with so that I can continue to upload content for you guys, because this is something that I enjoy doing, or something that I want to do is upload content. I enjoy making the content. I just got to start uploading it, start creating it, and all that other fun stuff, you know, that goes along with content creating. But yeah, guys, if you haven't tried the West Virginia one, it's challenge, it's tough, it's fun. I loved it. I think I had the most fun on this one too, actually. I think I did. Yeah, I think this one's by far the most fun I've ever had on a Spartan race course. So highly recommend. And hopefully one, like I said, I could be back to next year. Other than that, guys, it's good to be back. Let's just get it, man. Let's just get it. You know, we're halfway through the year. Let's finish this. Let's finish this year off strong. All right, guys. Thank you all again. I'll see you later. Peace.